And we're ready, and I gotta turn my sound up. Sorry, I'm behind. Alright. Okay, hey everybody, sorry for the delay. Nikki Burnett, Taste Life Radio. We're here on KUHS Denver, the stream. Streaming live, having fun, super excited to have Katie on today. And so a couple of things, first off, that we want to make sure that we cover is why we do this. What's really important about this show, what's important to me about this show, and it's to have fun, it's to get some good information out there, it's to talk business and health and nutrition and dogs and all of the things that I think are amazing. And I think a lot of people think they're amazing too.
Nailed it.
But the real purpose in my mind is truth. Let's get out the truth. There's so much confusion, there's so much insecurity about what's real, what's not real, what does the internet say, what am I supposed to do for my health, what's good, what's not good. People don't know. This is why I got into nutrition, is because I was confused. You know, I'd go to the internet, I love to research, but there's so much conflicting information about everything. How do you know what's real and what's not real? So that's what we're doing. So we bring you the truth to the best of our knowledge. We know that science changes all the time. So we're going to get into our gratitude in just a second, but first I want to introduce you to Katie, and then we'll talk all about Katie and why she's here. Katie Wafer is one of the most amazing women entrepreneurs that I've met to date. She's in health and wellness. Yeah.
That's very sweet.
But it's true. I look up to her. I'm so excited that you're here.
Well, thank you.
And so before we really start to dig into who you are and all of the things that we want to learn about you, let's talk about gratitude. So first off, for me, because we always start the show with gratitude.
I love it.
I think it's very, very important. I start my mornings with gratitude. I need to get better about ending my days with gratitude. I'm just going to bed. But I'm grateful to be a woman entrepreneur. I love being an entrepreneur. It's freaking hard, and it's freaking fun.
Yeah.
Okay, your turn. What are you grateful for?
All right. I love this, by the way. I try and do this every night, and typically it's, I'm grateful for my fiance, my dog, and this comfortable bed.
Yeah.
But, right now especially, I am so grateful for my health.
Yeah.
It's, I'm in the health and wellness industry. I'm passionate about health always, but, right now, like, your health is all you have, and I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah. Awesome. That's perfect. I can't agree more. We are in a place where we're all focused. We have more of a focus, I think, on our health, which is why I think all of this is so timely, because even though there's a focus, there's still a pretty intense confusion around it. And what should we actually be doing, and what actually can help us, and what maybe might hurt us, right? Okay, so a little more about what you do and who you are. I just want to say, personally, as I said, I really look up to you. She has done such an amazing thing in starting this business, and the way she makes it sound is it's just like, I'm just going to start a business, and let's just see what happens.
It's kind of what happens. My parents were like, you're what?
I know. I love it, and I love the story behind it, and I love to get to see you and watch you, because that's really what we've done over the last few years. As we've gotten to know each other, we've watched our businesses grow, and it's just been a ton of fun.
Thank
you.
Yeah,
so talk about, I want all of the dirty details that you want to give, who you are, why you are, what you do, and talk about Hydrate, and then we'll start to get into all of the science,
all the good stuff.
Goodness.
I know. I'm like, okay, how long do we have here?
Yeah, we've got. I know we could go for 3 hours probably, but
I love it. Well, like Nikki said, I mean, we've been working side by side for 3 years now, and I have so much respect for you as well, and our mission and goals align so well. So thank you for having me here today. Like she said, I am Katie Wafer. I founded Hydrate IV Bar. We are a collection of medical spas, more or less, that specialize in IV therapy and vitamin injections. My background is in medical sales. So I have a business degree. I started working in medical sales, was consulting with private practices, and then started working with compounding pharmacies. And that is when I was first introduced to injectables, but specifically with vitamins. And, at the time I was working in pain management. So very interesting specialty. Obviously there is legitimate pain, but that's a whole nother realm. And I've been into fitness my whole life. I've been an athlete my whole life. And so I naturally, I am more passionate about health and wellness, prevention, alternative medicine. So all of these kind of pieces, I had a really amazing, strong medical community and network behind me, which gave me the confidence to start this business. But like Nikki said, 2016, I opened our first spa, and we had 7 nurses, 1 doctor, a compounding pharmacy, and then I was doing the finances and the marketing and, cleaning toilets. I mean, it's not always glamorous.
How many hats do you wear?
And I wasn't getting paid to do it.
Right.
But the business, I started this as a consumer and just I wanted to bring a medical service and make it more accessible to the general public. And so that was, my goal was to focus on the experience, customer service, and not lose touch of, the benefits and the policies and the protocols and all the processes that are needed to provide these services in a very safe atmosphere. So we are, you think of it kind of like a smoothie bar. You come on in, you get to choose what water-soluble vitamins you want. So our nurses start with a liter of normal saline. And then we have, magnesium, which is great for muscle recovery. We have vitamin C and zinc, which is great for your immune system. Glutathione, one of my favorite antioxidants. It's amazing.
The master antioxidant.
B12, we're both huge fans of the methyl B12. That's definitely something I want to talk about. So basically you come in and you're like, help me fill my tank back to full. I want to feel better faster. I want to recover. Clients are coming to us, in general, healthy adults who are doing this to optimize their health. So you're just, looking for that edge. Of course, in Colorado, we do get altitude sickness, really any sort of dehydration. That may be from, athletic performance or cold and flu when your body is run down. So that's kind of Hydrate in a nutshell. Started in 2016 with 1 location. We have 5 locations now today.
She's rocking it. I just love it so much.
So 4 in Denver, 1 in Boulder, and it's grown faster than I could have imagined, but it's because I am so lucky to have truly the best teammates working with me. Our nurses are incredible. They are smart, they are kind, they're personable, they're fun. They work really, really hard, but we have a lot of fun as well. And our doctor, she has an integrative health center where she has been doing IV therapy for years as well, and she is just an unbelievable asset to our team. And so it's certainly, I get to be the face and do fun things like this and tell our story, because that's what I love so much and I'm so passionate about. But there are so many people behind the scenes that have helped this growth.
So I think that's a really interesting point that you make, and I don't want to kind of skim over it because it is important, because there are those who will kind of poo-poo something like this, right? You always have the skeptics, and we should. We have to have people skeptical. We have to have people asking questions. That's what we do in science, is we ask questions. We need to know more. But her doctor is their medical director, and she's a functional medicine practitioner, correct?
Correct. She's a DO, specializes in integrative health, functional medicine, holistic medicine. She loves, a lot of this is obviously one way to administer these vitamins, but really it goes down to what are you putting into your body?
Right.
Nutrition.
Yep.
This is,
Yep.
what you preach every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we're all speaking the same language, and it's in my world, it's a beautiful language. And so I love that, and I love what this is about. And I want to get into the details about why this can be so important and why it can be so therapeutic. But first, let's take a quick break and let's talk about Rightful. So they're one of the great sponsors of this show. I appreciate the sponsors that we have, because they're so great at what they do. So Rightful is a fairly new company. It's a liquid supplement you take morning and evening, and it's been a pain management supplement.
Mm-hmm.
And so it has calming herbs, it has focus herbs, it has the turmeric, which is the anti-inflammatory and helps with pain, and they are selling into pain management clinics, which I keep saying I love so much, because we're bringing together the holistic, functional world, the natural world, with the allopathic, which is what needs to happen. We have allopathic medicine is amazing in acute care, but where functional medicine thrives and really shines is in chronic care. And so coming together and having both of those together is really an amazing thing. And it also shows that the product works really, really well, because it is in the allopathic world. So it does take a little bit of time for some to notice. It can take a couple of weeks, it can take a month, but for those who are in chronic pain, it takes away the need to do some of these pretty nasty drugs that we have out there that are at times necessary, but we don't want to be on Oxycontin, hydrocodone, any of these, even ibuprofen for an extended period of time, because it can be so damaging.
Right.
So, Rightful is a great company. Go to their website, it's rightful.com, and you can put in my code TLN20, TLN as in Taste Life Nutrition, TLN20 for a discount. It's a really great company. So check them out. For me, they're part of my focus. They help me to focus, and I love that. And my sleep is always usually pretty good. Always usually. Sleep is usually pretty good, but it helps me in my focus during the day, because that's something that I'm focusing on myself, is focus. Because my mind tends to just kind of go all over the place, right? So, okay, so let's have some fun. Let's get into the meat of Hydrate, of IV therapy, of the nutrients that you put in, why we do, why people are going to come to you, and let's just talk about it. So I think first, what is hydrotherapy? What is IV therapy? Yeah.
So IV therapy, intravenous, basically means that we are administering these fluid and vitamins, minerals, antioxidants intravenously, directly into the vein. When doing so, you get 100% of the nutrients directly into your bloodstream. Obviously, the absorption is much more efficient than taking oral supplements in many cases. When you're taking oral vitamins, there are many vitamins or oral vitamins that are great. There are more that are not so great. And a lot of that is because of either the filler that they're putting in it, just junk that your body doesn't need. So by the time it's going through your GI system, breaking down, getting the nutrient into your bloodstream, you're getting 20% of what is needed. And supplements are called supplements for a reason. This is not to replace eating healthy, nutritious food. And really, I can't stress that enough. People, yes, we encourage IV therapy, but this is one piece of the puzzle. This is not to be used, instead of eating leafy greens. And but there are many people that just genetically don't absorb the nutrients. Whether it's celiac or there's a lot of different GI issues where you're not able to take in the vitamins orally. So that is one huge benefit, is you're getting 100% of the nutrients. We can give a lot higher dosages, and it stays in your body longer. So vitamin C, for instance, or have you ever taken a multivitamin on an empty stomach and you're just nauseated and you feel
B vitamins, they can just really make you nauseous.
Yeah. So when you're bypassing that, that's not the case. And there are the hydration alone. We see it. We're in Colorado. It is dry. We see it in our skin. But I don't think so many people don't realize how good your body is supposed to feel.
I hear it all the time.
When you just kind of like have this plateau of just getting by, and really like our bodies are pretty incredible when you give it what they need.
Yep.
Proper hydration is so basic, like drink water. But a lot of times what we see, especially from people coming in from out of town, is they're drinking so much water, they're using the restroom so often that they start flushing electrolytes. And you see this a lot of times with athletes as well. And so you need that sodium. Your body needs, the sodium, the salt.
Yep.
So, you sleep better, you don't have that brain fog, your GI system works better, everything works better when you're properly hydrated.
Yeah. So I want to back up just a little bit because I think it's really important. We're talking about supplements. So this is, I do a lot of oral supplements. Hydration therapy or IV therapy is also, like she said, supplemental. But we need to talk about what we're looking for. And even in IV therapy, there are some clinics. Can we call it a clinic? It's a spa.
We
Clinic
say
spa.
we prefer spa.
Yeah.
But it's yeah.
So one of the things we need to be really aware of, and I will say this probably every single show, is supplements. Do not buy your supplements online from the online retailers. I love Amazon. Do not buy your supplements off Amazon. Don't buy them off eBay. What we need to keep in mind, and I've got the data, one day I'll just post it out there, but the data shows that these companies that we use, like Zymogen, one of our sponsors,
love them.
They're a great company. They purchased their own products back off of Amazon, and they basically studied them to see what they were. They were either not the right product, they were expired, or they were maybe sawdust. Okay, so sawdust, maybe you go, oh, it's natural, it's wood. Think of all of the chemicals that are put on sawdust to allow it to be in a house, to be a fence, to be, whatever it is. It really is sickening and it's scary that people actually will do this, but they do, and the data shows it. So we want to be very, very careful with any supplementation. Another thing is, one of the most amazing things about IV therapy is, just what you were talking about, is there are genetic conditions or epigenetic conditions. There are also autoimmune conditions. The gut is not able to absorb the nutrients. It just doesn't have the capability. And so you're wasting your money by supplements anyway. So if I'm working on somebody with a gut repair program, which is 90% of my client base, I have in my mind, anytime I'm giving them supplements, okay, is this something that they're going to actually absorb? Because I don't want them to waste their money with me either. So I may wait, or if they need it, I'm sending them to Katie because they might be fatigued, depressed. All of these things are not able to get their nutrients, and nutrient deficiencies can create fatigue and depression and anxiety and stress and all of these things. The beautiful thing about it, and this is where I get a little bit nerdy, is you can go to some IV bar anywhere, and they're going to give you a B12 shot or give you an IV with your Bs in it, and they may not be good forms of B. So we have to look at the types of Bs, and that was the first thing that I did with Katie. I was like, what kind of bee is it? And so they are the active forms of the B vitamins. If you're looking at cyanocobalamin, you don't want it. That's a form
synthetic,
of B12.
Your body doesn't like it.
Yeah. Folic acid, which is what we hear. This is a big one.
Yeah.
We hear that we have to have folic acid. Moms are told you have to have folic acid for your baby. So what do? We look at supplements and we take folic acid. It's wrong. Folic acid can only be absorbed to a certain point, and then none will be absorbed. No folate from your foods, from your spinach. It won't be absorbed. It only goes to a certain point because folic acid is also synthetic. So you want folate. So this is very important in whether you're looking at supplements to purchase or you're going to a place like Hydrate. You should just go to Hydrate, especially if you're local. But supplements are not all created equal, whether they're oral or IV. And we need to really remember that. And so do your research, go to people who know, and go to the people who are really working to do the right thing by people, and that's what's important. And again, why I love this show is because I try to bring on, I think I bring on the coolest people in the world. But I also bring on people who are truthful, who are sincere, who are out there for the right reason and are doing the right things, because that's what's important. There's a lot of trash out there. So anyway, I needed to get that out there, and I say it a lot, but it's just, sorry, my hair's getting stuck.
Looks great.
Oh, thank you. But it's really, really important to know that not everybody is going to be the same. Do your research. If you're somewhere across the country where there's not a Hydrate, look into the types of supplements they're putting into their bags. Yeah.
And you see this with your food as well. It matters whether it's organic or not. It matters, are they spraying chemicals on it? There's so many other layers that go into it. And unfortunately, like you said, so much gets hidden. It doesn't have to be put on labels. It doesn't, it's marketing, it's sales. And so there is a reason that, organic food or pure supplements may cost a little bit more, but I promise you it is worth it because you need to know that what you're putting into your body is real. So yes,
it's
that's
hard.
A great point.
Yeah,
it is
hard.
And sometimes, I will read studies and I'll go to conferences, and sometimes I leave wanting to live in a bubble. You're just oh my gosh, there are toxins everywhere, the air, the new car smell, all of these things that you don't realize.
So amazing and so bad.
So bad. And so, yes, there is balance and you can't live in a bubble, but there are little changes that you can make on a daily basis for maintenance that are substantial.
Yeah. Okay, so we talked about who does come to you, who it's safe for. Is there anybody who should not do IV therapy?
Definitely. We are, under our doctor's supervision at her private practice. That is one thing. There's more extensive lab work. There's, at Hydrate, we are way conservative with who we are seeing because we are not treating, diagnosing, curing. This is, truthfully in our setting, used for supplementing healthy adults, lifestyles. So our nurses, we are looking at medications, allergies, medical history, if they are being seen by a primary care, if they have been hospitalized. We are digging to figure out what is bringing you here. Is it that you're not feeling right, you're having headaches, is there something underlying that you don't know?
Right.
It's very unique, it's special because even when we do have to turn someone away, you'd think oh, that's lost business. That's not how we think of it at all.
That's beautiful, yeah.
And, there will be someone that comes in with extremely high blood pressure, and our nurses, these are emergency room nurses that have the opportunity to have a discussion with these clients and really talk to them and say, listen, this is alarming, and we do recommend that you go see another provider. Yeah. And every single time they contact us afterwards saying, thank you so much for taking this seriously, for bringing this to my attention and encouraging us to be seen by another provider. So blood pressure is a big thing. We also, if someone's blood pressure is through the roof, you don't want to give them too much fluid.
Yeah.
Your body is
really
working
careful.
way too hard. Yeah. So, and especially, if someone is being seen by another doctor under their care, there are times that an oncologist, for instance, we will do, or we get asked to do higher doses of vitamin C
Mm-hmm.
with cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And so there are a lot of studies to show that there are benefits, but of course we want to make sure that whatever we are doing under our supervision is, you know, aligning with
Sure.
what their other provider is doing.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, you know, someone might work with their oncologist, work with our doctor, do lab work, you know, and then maybe comes to us for the infusions for maintenance.
Yeah.
But this is also not something that is to be used in replace of committing to a healthy lifestyle.
Right.
And there are times that, you know, we see people that may be trying to use it for the wrong reasons. And again, it's an opportunity for us to educate and, you know, that's one of the most, and I might be jumping around a little bit, but that is truly it is the most rewarding part of this job is that, you know, I didn't know that we would become these kind of trusted advisors, and that's what it has become. It's a place where we can educate and we learn, and we have people coming to us saying like, hey, have you heard of this or that? And we're just, it's a very amazing atmosphere where we're all learning together.
Awesome.
So.
And I think that a point that I would kind of like to spin off of that, and it works really well for people, is find your team. You know, we talk about finding your tribe when it's like the people you trust, you can go to, who build you up, who bring you up, which I am very intentional about, is finding people who are better than I am, who are supportive, and I just think it's really an important part of life, entrepreneurship, all of those things. But whether you are optimizing your health or if you are trying to, you know, muddle through some kind of chronic condition or even acute condition, but you know, these chronic conditions, which is, you know, skyrocketing. We've got, you know, GI dysfunction and autoimmune disease and, you know,
adrenal fatigue.
disease.
Everyone is adrenal
too
stress.
much. Everybody's so stressed. And what does stress do? What if you heard me say it? It shrinks the brain, right? And then if our brain is shrinking, then we don't have the ability to think properly. Our cognitive abilities go, and then if our cognitive abilities are going, the rest of our body is going. So it doesn't nothing works in a vacuum, right? Everything is connected, and so having your team who is a part, you know, who you know, works together in a sense, but everybody knows that there's somebody else there, and you can say, okay, ask your provider this question. I have a client right now who's in a seriously chronic situation, and she has me, her functional medicine doctor. I believe she has an allopathic physician. She has a couple of neurological chiropractors, and then she's doing sauna, and she's doing, you know, an amazing, all of these things to help her get, you know, at least level off, right? She's just it's a tough spot to be in, but she's rocking it.
Good.
And she's working her tail off, and she has all of these people who are coming together to help build her up, essentially, but it's building her body up, right?
And that's saving her life. I mean, this is, we talk about this all of the time, you know, IVs or nutrition is one piece of the puzzle, but we focus on, you know, why aren't you sleeping? Is it because you're, you know, nutrient deficient, or is it because you are unbelievably stressed? Like, are you meditating? Do you do yoga? Are you moving your body? Are you, so like, what does your physical activity look like? What does your mental health look like? Who are the people around you? What does your home life look like? And then let's find a team. And it may seem like this is a lot of quote unquote work, but it's worth it. I mean, this is your health, this is your body, this is how you show up every single day. And so it does take a lot of things in many cases. But I mean, I am all about like massage and acupuncture and infrared saunas and salt caves, and I mean, I love it.
We want to do as much as we can, but in time it does become, if you're not there now, it becomes a lifestyle. You know, the thing that people, I think we're getting better, but the thing that people don't do mostly, or I think most of, is this self-care, right? We go to the
I'm
doctor.
getting really good at it.
Good.
And I don't feel guilty about it.
Don't. That's the thing. Then there's that guilt. Like, well,
Right.
I'm spending time on myself when I should be spending time on this or that or this
yeah.
or that. And if you're not here, if you're not showing up, you're not showing up for anybody else. You're not
Yeah.
showing up for work. You're not showing up for your business. You're not showing up for anything if you're not taking care of yourself. So we have to focus on ourselves. And, you know, what you said, meditation. Meditation changes our biochemistry. It's amazing what it can do for our entire body, our mental and our emotional state.
Even just breathing. I mean, that is something that, like, I get, and I can feel, like, I can feel when either I'm angry or nervous, and it, like, gets stuck right here in my throat, and it is unbelievable if you step outside, get fresh air, you know, feel the sun, take deep breaths. Also a big fan of cold showers these days. That is one way.
It's a hard one for me.
It is,
I'm
but it
really
helps
working on
you
it.
control. You know, you're like in this shock of take deep breath, and so I love. I have this little sign at Hydrate. It says, "Never underestimate the power of a breath." And so, yes, like getting your mind right.
I love that. Okay, so how long can you stay under a cold shower?
I'm getting pretty good. So, Carl, my fiance, is Swedish, and so he takes his cold showers and cold plunges very serious. They can.
I love that.
Yeah, it's so. But I do about 2 minutes every morning.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I do like 10 seconds max. I'm like, okay, I can't stand it.
No, you're kind of like, oh, you have to kind of sing through it, move around. The dog's always like, what is going on?
The dog's starting to sing with you.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's just too much. Okay, so quick question about, because there is such a difference. You know, I'll go to conferences and I'll have, you know, these physicians working with crazy chronic, like way more chronic than I would ever even want to work with. But these chronic patients, they're patients, and they're doing the IV therapy. And so whether it's, you know, I know you don't do chelation, so there's chelation and there's all of these things. And so knowing that chelation is not a therapy that they can do or will do, it's a medical therapy. But will doctors like write a script for, or they just say, hey, go to Hydrate? Or something like that?
A lot of it kind of bounces back on, you know, is the practitioner, is our doctor physically seeing them, you know, at Hydrate. This is still under her license. So, you know, we are, if it's someone that, you know, needs chelation or extremely high doses of vitamin C that need to be monitored more closely, we'll typically refer them out, which is great. I mean, we have a wonderful referral network that, you know, we're happy to kind of be there along the way and support the way we can. But if there is someone, I mean, we get calls with just metal toxicity, mold toxicity, and they, you know, Hydrate is likely not the most appropriate setting, and so we will have another practitioner see them or our doctor see them, and then, you know, when they're in a little bit of a better place,
then you'll see them.
Then we will see them.
Okay, cool. Okay, I'm going to do another quick break. We're going to talk about Zymogen. Katie loves Zymogen.
We love Zymogen. Big fans.
Zymogen's a great company, and they're a company that you will not find on Amazon. You will not find them on eBay. If you do, the company's going to go after them because they want to know that their products are what they put out there and that they're supporting the practitioners and they're supporting the practitioners' patients and clients. So awesome company. I appreciate them. They are backed by data. They spend a ton of money on research, on their products, on putting the best thing out there that they possibly can. And I just really appreciate them for who they are, because they're just a great company. And they have, we have up here, I've had this one up here before, but it's kind of one of my favorites because I talk a lot about my need to work on my focus. So I'm working on my own brain health, right? And what I found along with Rightful are these two products, this ATP Ignite workout, specifically the workout, and Ketonics, which is it's a sort of a keto product, right? And so and I work out regularly, but I'll take this just in the morning. I'll mix them together, and then the Rightful, and I have a couple other things. And it literally gives me focus throughout my day.
Really?
So, yeah, it's really very cool.
That's your secret.
It's
I'm like, wow, you're just on it. All this is so sharp.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you noticed. But I love it to death. There is a little bit of caffeine in the ATP Ignite workout, and there's a regular ATP Ignite as well. But the way that I can't explain it like they do, but they create the caffeine in a way that it's dispersed throughout the day. There are no spikes. It doesn't create that, what caffeine can create. Of course, you don't want to take it too late, because if you have problems with caffeine, it will keep you awake. But I just love it. I love it to death. I love all of them together, and it has really made, in a fairly short amount of time, a pretty significant change in my day, because I feel like as entrepreneurs, we have, how many hats do we wear,
need
right?
focus.
Yeah, you need focus. You got to figure out which direction to go, and stay there.
Right.
That's me. Is I go, oh, what about here? And then now I'm like, no, just stay there. I may go over here. The same thing.
No, I am totally like yeah.
And it's just not efficient.
Yeah, no.
Man, it's hard.
I need to try that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
I'll
they're
definitely get those.
It's really good stuff. So. You can go to my website, and so you see Whole Scripts. Whole Scripts is Zymogen's ordering branch platform. Yeah, thank you. And so you can go to my website, and there is a Whole Scripts little tag, little bar down there. You can put in Radio 5, and you can get a discount. Look at all of the stuff that they have. They have amazing things. Now, just don't go buy stuff just to buy it. Know what you need. See somebody who can tell you, yes, you need this, because we still don't want you to waste money, and we don't want you to take something that is not benefiting you, because supplements, even if they're the best in the world, they may not be right for you.
One size does not fit all in this case.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
It's the truth. So, yeah, thank you.
They have a great omega that I take.
It's the only one I use.
Yes.
It's the only one I use. Yeah.
Probiotics are really great. They have a few different types. So,
yeah. Good stuff. The quality is, you can't beat them. So, awesome. Okay. So let's move on. I want to talk about, and so I have on my little cheat sheet here, I have magic. And so, and I get this from a great friend of mine who she was on last week, or 2 weeks ago, my friend Dr. Amber Hollis. And she's so cute. And she's like, we just got to find the magic. And so I thought about her, and I brought it in here. And I think a lot of science, when we don't understand the data and don't know what it's about, or even moving into Chinese medicine and Oriental medicine and acupuncture, like, there's some kind of magic to it, right? Yeah. I mean, it's really amazing, and we love data. We got to have the data, but the magic is awesome.
I love that.
So I did that because I want you to talk about some amazing experiences that you've had, that you've seen people, whatever it is, your amazing experiences in, I think at this point, we'll talk about amazing entrepreneur experiences here in a little bit, but inside of Hydrate, or surrounding Hydrate, yeah.
This is just right off the top of my mind. This is what I'm thinking of, and it's not necessarily because of the benefits of the vitamins. I'll get to that, but this is something that we're very proud of. Hydrate has become this space where it's the community, it's the culture, the experience, it's how we make people feel, and
it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I mean, all of them are beautiful. I haven't been to the Boulder one yet.
Thank you.
They're gorgeous.
But people come in, and it's welcoming, it's comfortable. You are sitting back in this recliner. You get your tea and essential oils, and so all those little touches that were so important to me when I was a consumer, we've brought in. And so, many people, yes, the vitamins are great and the hydration is great and you feel better when you leave, but just getting that TLC from a nurse and really unwinding, like coming in, like checking out of technology.
Time to meditate.
Yeah, so, and you're literally hooked up to an IV.
Yeah.
You can't leave. I mean, you can, but you're
Not
in
advised.
a little bit of a vulnerable spot. And so, but this happened, it's happened a few times, but people have met, like strangers sitting next to each other, start talking with their IVs, And we have a couple that is married now.
Oh,
because
that's
they met
amazing.
at
I
Hydrate.
love that.
The bunnies were like, wow, we didn't know we were matchmakers, but
yeah,
that happens every now and then.
that's really fun.
But no, there are so many, there's so many people that maybe this is a setting where they are not as good about going to a traditional doctor or focusing on their health, and so this has kind of been that gateway to like, oh, I'm going to practice self-care, I'm going to do something, and then we encourage them like, listen, you really need to go get physicals and check up. But it's a place where it's focusing a lot on focusing in, listening to your body, paying attention to how you feel, how you recover. We have many people who get even they're not sleeping well, so they're taking Ambien to go to sleep. They are dragging all morning, so they're on an amphetamine during the day, and it's this cycle. They're on a lot of people on thyroid medications, a lot of adrenal fatigue,
all over the place.
And again, not that this is maybe replacing any of that, but it helps people kind of tailor off of maybe this cycle that they were typically on. And so for them to come in and say like, oh my gosh, I am sleeping so well, I'm sleeping normally, the magnesium is making me unwind, I'm getting a restful sleep, now I'm alert naturally when I wake up. And so these are, pretty big shifts in a lot of people's day-to-day, where instead of being so reactive, you're being proactive.
Right.
There are, let me think of some, some of the most, immediate results are when someone comes in, specifically from out of town, super dehydrated, vomiting, dizzy. Altitude, they're so dehydrated. And it's unbelievable when you give a liter of saline, how fast someone can not snap out of it, but kind of rebound from that. And there are times where literally people are green in the face, and they're like skipping out, like, I love Denver now. And so it's just, vegans, vegetarians, typically very low B12 levels. So yes, we do the IV therapy, but we have a lot of clients who just come in for injections. And that's amazing, because that is very much changing their day-to-day just by getting these injections every 2 weeks. And that's, B12 deficiencies, feeling lethargic, brain fog, just really like sluggish. And so that's something that, like, get the methyl B12, it's an injection in your arm every 2 weeks, and that is a game changer for a lot of people who are not getting B12 in their diets.
There's one thing that I want to put out there, just as a sort of a caution, that I think is important just for anybody who does this, and I don't know that you and I have discussed this, but sometimes people, and this is a sort of an epigenetic situation, sort of for lack of a better word, it's a genetic mutation, right? So not totally accurate, but some people who take the methyl B12, which is the good active form, if they're already dealing with anxiety, it can push their anxiety. And so just be aware of that if you're taking a supplement that's the methyl B12 form, cobalamin, because and you're starting to feel that it is increasing your anxiety, there are two other forms that might be better for you. There's an indenosyl cobalamin form, and there's a hydroxycobalamin form. Some people just can't do the methyl B12, and so it's just something to know, to be aware of, because we want you to do the right things for yourself, but we don't want it to end up kind of going the wrong way.
Right. And that's exact. I mean, what works for one person may not work for the other, and even, there are times where, like, I'll get an IV and I am like jazzed after, and I feel like so energized, and then there are other times where I am like super tired because of magnesium and I'm relaxed. And so even my own body responds differently at different times depending on where I'm at with my life. What, you know, have I been eating poorly? Did I consume too much alcohol? Have I had too much caffeine? Am I not sleeping well? Am I stressed? So, you know, where I am today could likely be different. You know, my genes are my genes, those aren't changing, but there are a lot of factors that go into it. So yes, you know, and there are times where people are like, I did so well on X, Y, and Z for so long, and now why all of a sudden am I not getting the same effects, or why do I have these adverse reactions? And so it is very important to listen to your body.
Yeah, the body's dynamic, and you know, especially if you're depleted, if you're nutrient deficient, you know, it's going to create, you know, kind of going back to what we were talking about, it will create dis-ease, right? It'll create, you know, anything from pain and inflammation to your full-on chronic conditions and diseases, you know, sleep, that kind of thing. So, taking these things and utilizing them to the best of your ability, but understanding that, yeah, there are times where you don't need as much magnesium, but there are also times, like for women, you know, when we are, you know, in that premenstrual phase, we're using up tons of magnesium.
Or breastfeeding mamas.
Using up tons of magnesium. And so it's really important, and so much of our world is deficient in magnesium anyway, but there might be a point to where you've got enough.
Right.
And so understanding, listening, paying attention, this is something that we as a society, I think, have gotten away from, is listening to our body. You know, our body's always talking to us. It's telling us, you know, especially if there's pain, or if there's GI issues, or if there's brain fog or fatigue, don't just think, oh, I've got a symptom and I need to go, you know, get a drug or do whatever. Think of it as the body's knocking on your door saying, hey, something's up. It's your body finally got to a point where it's saying, I need you to pay attention to me because there's something really going on. And probably that something has been going on for a long time, and the body just finally went, okay, I'm out. I need your help because you got to do something about this. And so lots of ways of going about that. Obviously, you know, Hydrate being an amazing, just an amazing thing to do. I just love it.
Love you.
It's a love fest.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind. If you don't take anything away from this, besides Hydrate's amazing, take away to listen to your body, whether you're feeling good or not feeling good. Pay attention. Know your body. See somebody who knows your body as well, who can read your labs, who can understand you functionally, why you're functioning well or not well, and can help you move through that and get you the things that you need.
And even, I mean, listening to your body could be as simple as when you're eating. Your body will tell you when you are full. You don't need to keep eating. That is something that I have a
so
delicious meal, and then, you know, I love, you're going to hate that I say this, ice cream, but I'm doing non-dairy.
Have you had Kato yet?
Yes, so good. Yeah, the avocado. So I am
the best.
But growing up, I used to always tell my parents, like, ice cream fills the cracks, because they're like, I would be so full, and I would still ice cream. I was like, this fills the cracks. But your body, when you are full, you know, stop eating. Yeah. Even, you know, if you're tired, like, allow your body, take a 20-minute power nap, or like let your body rest, rather than, and this is something that I'm trying to be better at as well, but there are a lot of times when, like, I'm tired and I have to keep going, and I'm going to drink coffee and keep pushing, and in the long term, that is not good.
It is detrimental. It is going to create too much stress on your body. So even if it's
all about the micro naps now.
Yeah. Yes. Like, I try to do that.
Close your eyes.
My favorite thing, especially when it's summer like this, and I haven't done it in like a week, or I'm dying. But when it's beautiful and summer outside, I will leave my desk. I'll go out. I work out of my home. I'll go to the backyard, and I have a bench that I'll lay on, and I just let the sun just move over me, and I close my eyes.
Hence the beautiful tan.
Man, I'm out.
Gosh,
the mountains in my garden. It's it's constant. I love it, but it's not too long. I never get burnt.
And we need vitamin D.
We have to get the sun. The sun. Do not demonize the sun. The sun gives us so much. We just have to. Yes, We just have to utilize it properly. Man, that would be a whole other
like
show.
anything, yeah, I mean, don't abuse it. Like, it's all about quantity and
yeah, absolutely. But take your time, get out, find your place that is the place that helps you to relax. And it's the sun that helps me to relax. And I will get out there and I just love it. And then I get to a point where I'm like, okay, I'm done. I can go in now. It's rejuvenating and it's just lovely. I just love it. Okay, I want to talk about business.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, we don't have enough time, but we've got a good 10 minutes where we can talk about business, the life of being an entrepreneur, what it's been like for you, all of the ups and downs and the craziness that you've experienced. And I kind of want you to tell me whatever it is that you want to tell me about that. But your experience being a woman entrepreneur and just an entrepreneur, you know, we don't have to put woman in front of it.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's okay too.
It's a wild ride. I mean, I know a lot more than I did 4 years ago, and I
think God it's going to be in 4 years.
Pray to learn a lot more in another 4 years. And so I think that is one of the keys that I remind myself. I cannot do it all on my own. If I try to do it all on my own, I'm either crazy or it's not going to work. Yeah. So, you know, build the team around you. That one has the resources, whether that is accounting or legal, but then also the energy, the people that are going to fuel you and support you. And there are a lot of times that it is fun and glamorous. This is an awesome day, awesome. You know, in an hour, who knows what's going to happen? There might
you're
be
cleaning toilets and things are exploding.
And so one thing something that I remind myself of every day is just staying flexible. It's good to have a plan. It's good to have goals. It's good to look forward, but know that likely those plans will change and you can't sit back on your heels and be too comfortable. There are amazing wins and we stop and we celebrate those wins as a team, but we don't get too comfortable. And there have also been a lot of challenges, and I think that is something that, you know, there are times that I may make it look easy, or
she does. I'm going to tell you, looking, you know, and I know a lot of what she's been through. I don't think I know everything. I'm sure I don't know everything, but to watch how this has grown. I'm sorry, I totally interrupted you, but I can't help it. To watch how this business has grown and how graceful you seem and look and come across. It's truly amazing because you've had some pretty intense bumps.
I mean, the gray hairs to show it. My mom reminds me, she's like, I didn't have gray hair at your age. I'm like, thanks. Mom. These are my Hydrate grays. No, but it's, you know, there have, you know, the first time having to fire someone, like, that sucks. Yeah. The first time that I had, you know, a nurse steal or lie or cheat, like, you're just like dagger to the heart. Yeah. I have had lawsuits. I've filed them, so not against me. And I have had a partner buyout. That was something that was
just gave me chills.
Unbelievably stressful, emotional, a huge learning process. Really strong because of it. There have been, you know, there's negotiations that didn't go my way. There are negotiations that have gone my way that I'm like feeling really pumped up about. Yeah. So there are highs and lows. Almost every day there's a high and a low. And, you know, celebrate the wins when you have them. Gratitude is huge. And
be grateful for the good.
And just for the know, and for the bad, because you're learning. And there are, I mean, I've made mistakes, and no one sees when, you know, I'm crying on the kitchen floor because something is really, really hard. You know, I don't put that on Instagram. But, you know, I do, you know, when I'm really happy, we really focus on that too. So I think there are a lot of ups and downs. It is scary. It is exciting. It is all the feelings. I mean, even this, I love Nikki. I love doing this stuff. I'm not, I was so nervous even coming here. And I'm like, it's live, like that word. And so even, probably, hopefully I don't look nervous or seem to be nervous.
No,
but
not at all.
Even that is like, show up with a smile and keep that smile on and just push through and enjoy the discomfort, because that's what makes you grow. And I can continue to put myself in positions where it's uncomfortable, but I know I'm going to grow and learn, and I'm doing that for myself, I'm doing that for the business, I'm doing that for, everything. So, it's been a wild ride. I still think, the word entrepreneur is still, to me, I'm like,
weird, isn't it? It's weird.
It's
am
weird.
I really?
Yeah. But we have a great mutual friend, and she is just badass boss lady. And so she always says that, she's like, I'm not the owner. Like, her business card doesn't say owner, it's keeper of the culture.
Yeah.
And I love that, because, you can make the title whatever you want. I don't like saying staff. These are not I'm not the boss. They always call me, they're like, you're my boss. And it just, and I'm like, yes, I, have the authority and pay you, but, this is a team, this is us, and, it starts from me and my energy, and then trickles to our team and trickles to the clients, and if I'm happy, they're happy, and we're all happy.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's true.
And when I'm not happy, I go get a massage.
Perfect. Anything you would change?
Ooh. Oh, this is a hard one. I know, yes, there
doesn't have to be.
I honestly, I think me starting this business, it's a blessing and a curse that I was somewhat naive. I didn't have a business plan. I just thought, this is how much money we have to make. I was like, what are my bills? I have to pay a nurse, pay rent, blah, blah, and then I just need to work backwards and at least make that much money. That was my goal. And I was just super happy to not be in medical sales anymore. Now looking back, I probably would have taken some more time and had proper, SOPs. Amy is always like, so tell me about your SOPs. And when I was like, what is that? It's a standard operating procedure everyone should have one that has a business. But I was like, what's an SOP? We just go.
Yeah, just do it.
So that I would have probably had a little bit more structure and guidance, but we've learned as long as the medical stuff, our medical team is an amazing job. They have all their SOPs. It was more me, doing marketing and kind of So
awesome. Okay, so last question is future. What's coming up for you? Personally, professionally?
Personally, I'm getting married.
Yay.
Yeah.
When's that?
July 2021.
Okay.
Thankfully, we were planning on 2021 anyways, because this whole summer my heart breaks for everyone.
Man, I know.
Rescheduling weddings.
Lots, yeah.
But very excited about that. So much to look forward to. The business, we are just counting our blessings right now that we were closed during COVID. We made it through. We are excelling. We're doing great. It was a time where, we got to work on projects that we never had time to do. So we came out of this like well-oiled machine, and our plan, our goal is to continue to expand, continue to reach new markets, and make this service accessible to more individuals.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
I love it. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you.
This is really good. And I think something that I sort of wanted to throw out there that I've seen with the entrepreneurs that I'm surrounded by, or if I like my gym, right? They have good business owners have a following that want to stay with you through thick and thin. And it's really a beautiful thing that you've had a client base that is like, okay, we got you, we're going to stick with you. And,
it's incredible. And it is. People want to do business with people they know, like, and trust.
Yep.
And above everything, no matter what type of business, what you're selling, what you're doing, it's all about relationships. And if you don't have those relationships, and if you don't have that trust, good luck.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm grateful for you and for so many others. I mean, we do have so many members who stood by us, stuck with us, encouraged us. You know, we got creative with different revenue streams since we couldn't provide the services. And so that's something that, you know, it's having those people that are going to stick with you and support you. But you better do good to them too.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Where can you be found? And where are all of your locations?
4 locations in Denver, primarily the Cherry Creek Wash Park area, and then the Highlands downtown, and then also one in Boulder. Visit our website, hydrateivbar.com. We also have a very active Instagram that's just fun and playful, and I would love for you to follow us on that. It's just hydrate_IV bar. And
Awesome.
just see me around town.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay, so I'll finish it up. Nikki, Taste Life Nutrition. You can go to my Facebook page or my website. Check out my website. I've got a free assessment on there, and I reach out to you personally if you want to fill that out. We talk a little bit about what might be going on with you. I see people virtually. I see people all over the country. I see people outside of the country. So we probably know I work a lot with chronic conditions, autoimmune, GI dysfunction, and then, you know, some weight management. You know, it's kind of all across the board because I get bored with just one thing. So my husband's always like, you have to find your niche. I'm like, my niche is lots of people. Lots of things.
They all matter though. They all.
It's just help. Yeah. So anyway, thanks everybody. Appreciate you joining us, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Take care.